So hello everybody, today I'm going to be reviewing Damned to Hell by Mike Salt, which is the first book in the Linkville horror series. This was a free-to-read book from Darklets Press free little horror library, which anyone can access on their publisher's site. So definitely go ahead and check that out if you haven't already. Of late, as you might have seen from my February wrap-up, I have been in my horror element and I am loving that for me. I'm finding so many different subgenres within the overarching theme of horror, and I am thoroughly enjoying just discovering what I like, what I don't like so much, and kind of finding new to me authors. I've particularly been enjoying little novelettes, novellas and short story anthologies because you get such a nice snippet of an author's work without such a heavy commitment. I've really been thoroughly enjoying the horror entertainment category of late, particularly Darklit Press's selection of free-to-read books digitally available on their website. This isn't sponsored or anything like that. I have just been downloading a lot from there recently and I love that. Shout out to them for really fighting their corner for indie and underrepresented horror authors. So, Damned to Hell, what we're all here about. This is a re-release following a man who has lost it all. His son passed away, and after falling vice to alcohol addiction to cope with this awful grief that he's quite clearly suffering from, his wife couldn't take it anymore and ended up divorcing him. Rob is at an all-time low until he takes a chance with Emily. And I've got to say, there was a few cringy descriptions on how small she was in comparison to how Rob was big. It just felt a bit icky to me, like it was just a bit strange, right? Almost kind of like infantilizing Emily and her small stature and being so cute and childlike, and then you got this big, strong, strapping bear of a man who's just like kind of like gross, ew. Anyway, moving on. He decides to try and take a chance with her and thinks, you know what? Another good start to change my life around is to get back in touch with my longtime friend who I've estranged, and that's David, to finally make amends of his life and just move on. It's exactly the opposite of what he was after, and yeah, the story takes a turn from there, quite a sinister turn. This was a gloriously depressing story. It was so bleak, so dark, just so much sorrow was sort of mixed in this hot pot of death, basically death in any way possible. The depth of loss and desperation to see your loved one more time quickly became this corrupted and horrible thing, and Rob fell into doing these evil deeds over and over again just for the hope, the glimmer of a small chance to see his son again, failing to really fully achieve the object of his desire. I felt for Rob, I really did, body and soul, absolutely felt for him, but I just simultaneously I just couldn't abide with the heinous atrocities that he was conducting for quite a selfish gain. You know, you've got to put yourself in this perspective of would my loved one want me to do this? Would they want to come back on these terms, you know? And if it was me, I would not. No, it was a lot to think about, like, morally. I really loved that Mike Salt was able to kind of get into my head and make me question these like big questions that I wouldn't have thought about before. The body horror and sheer cruelty and violence of the deaths within this story was just so gory and depicted so intensely that the result was like watching a movie in my head. It was so visceral. I felt like I needed to take a moment every now and then just to kind of digest digest is the wrong word, just to kind of absorb what I had read. Like, my eyes were being scarred. Overall, I found this to be a really fantastic novella. It was my first foray into this author's works, but I would definitely love to continue on with the Linkville series because I love the idea of having these interconnected stories that aren't, you know, directly super linked, like you're following a different character in each book, but at the end there's a little bit that ties in and crosses together. I'm looking forward to discovering more of those connections. The writing was rich. We had a few minor errors and typos in this edition. It wasn't anything that wasn't easily overlooked. Very detailed as well, incredibly descriptive in a way that I enjoyed because I could fully see things happening and carrying out. Horror was scary, distressing, and the emotional drive behind it was absolutely incredible. Definitely check this out if you haven't read it already. If you have, do let me know what you thought in the comments down below. And for now, thank you so much for watching. I shall catch you in another video soon. Bye.